How goes it? Here we go again. I gotta update some temp tasks and stuff though here. Let's see here. Alrighty, I think we're about there. What do we got going on my title? It's broken, of course. All right, so the problem of the day was when I started Friday, or yeah, I'd probably say it was Friday, um, is to do a email redirect callback. Basically, I've gotten past the point where I have a sign-in page. I still got my weights on my ankles from my workout. These are going to annoy me after a while, so let's take those off. First, there's three parts to getting the auth to work. And in any programming tool or any application, right? You got to be able to sign in or sign up, which creates your login. You've got to be able to confirm the login, which is where I'm at right now. And then you got to be able to log in later. Okay, so now there's probably even a fourth step if you integrate, what do you call it? MFA, multi-factor authentication. If you implement that, then there's a stage where you have to. I don't think this particular process that we're doing with the NextJS coding class actually goes as far as to do MFA, but it does do the other three. And you do have to confirm your email address. You'll sign up, and then it'll send an email to you, and you click on it, and it takes you back to your app, and the app will then take that code or the piece of information that's provided by that redirect and use it to log you in, or at least set you up on the application saying, hey, yeah, you've set up your login and now you're good to go. So I am at that stage. Now here's the problem. This would be pretty easy to do if what I was doing was exactly what the master class of NetNinja is trying to teach you. But problem is, even though the class, the online course, is only 8 months old, it is outdated. And that's because Supabase, which is our backend database, which has the auth functionality built into it, decided to refactor and change how they do that. And therefore, I've had to figure out how to make this work using React, NextJS, and Supabase with the new code. So far, I have not found an example anywhere that does it with those parts. If you go to Supabase, they have a fair amount of documentation, and they even show stuff for React and they show stuff for NextJS, but they don't show all the parts. And one of the things they don't show is how to do the email redirect part using React in NextJS. Okay, so what they show you is TypeScript. Not the same. I mean, they're similar, but they're not the same. So I don't know TypeScript. I mean, to me, all this stuff is new to me. All this web programming is a new experience for me. Well, not all web programming. I've done ASP.NET and using C# as the backend of the code behind. And I've done VB.NET as the code behind. I've even done some where JavaScript is the code behind. partially. But it's not React. It's not current, and it was, it's kind of the old style web programming that I kind of developed over years, and because my company never upgraded. And then they have other teams that were upgraded to like Angular and other things, and I knew nothing about it. I switched one of those teams, and I didn't fare very well because I didn't know the stuff, and I wasn't allowed to really work on it. So I didn't spend time learning it too much. Well, here I am, currently out of work and let go for companies cutting back and doing all that fun stuff. So here I am trying to do this uh, and try to learn it. So I've already completed a React course, and then I decided, well, you know what? I should probably try to figure out something that does the back end as well. And therefore I brought in NextJS rather than Node.js. So I decided, NextJS is pretty popular. It sounds like it's one of the more popular ones. So I'm doing that one. And of course, I'm trying to do that with React as my alt. So you can do it with TypeScript too, I believe. But, NextJS is JavaScript, right? So Angular is TypeScript. So it's a little bit different. I don't know Angular any better. I don't know any of these things. So for me, when somebody starts doing something in a different language, like I see Superbase doing it in TypeScript, my brain is like, okay, well, how are these similar? What is the conversions? Eventually, if you know them both well enough, you can go, oh, well, the equivalent of TypeScript is blah. It's like knowing two languages, right? Spanish, English. The words that cross over, so you could say the same thing in Spanish as you can in English. It's the same thing. If I know Angular and I know TypeScript, I can do the same thing in both. Then I should be able to know how to convert the two, which shouldn't be that hard. But when you only know one of them and somebody shows you, okay, well, like if you only know Spanish and somebody shows you German, if you don't know the conversions, you're still going, well, I know you're saying the same thing here, but I don't know how they line up. I don't know the conversion points. I don't know how to say this German sentence is the same German sentence or same as the Spanish sentence, and I don't know the crossovers. Therefore, I can't do a one-to-one conversion. If somebody tells me this is what this says and I go write this over here, it's not me figuring out these words say this and these words say that and these words say that. It's me going, I'm just writing this sentence over here. And that's what I'm doing right now. That's my current situation. I don't know the TypeScript I'm looking at and go, oh, well, that's this. But I do know I'm trying to learn here how to do what that's doing, which doesn't help me much because I need to know how this does what that's doing without knowing what that says. So, I know the ultimate goal is to do an email redirect callback, which is basically to say, when you get your email, you click on it, you come back in here, it registers you. And that's what I'm working on. So here you go. Here's my code that's supposed to be doing that. I've been running into a few issues, of course, because I haven't figured it out. So this is the callback page. It's going to attempt using JavaScript to make the same callback. So what I've gone through is I have I set myself up a learning new programming skills workspace. And the whole reason why I have this even in existence is so that I can go to some of these docs already loaded for what I've had before. I like the workspaces in Edge because they allow you to have pages ready to go. You can just group your pages, go set them up, go run them. And you can see I have this email redirect callback. This is the this is where I'm at in the in the class. But you can see this is what he wants you to do. This doesn't work. This is the code for using this helpers. You see the auth helpers here, and that's what's deprecated by Superbase. They say, oh, don't use that anymore. Use this. And I could just say, well, I'm learning. Let's use auth helpers. I mean, you can still install it. It's still supported. Blah blah blah. But my feeling is, if I'm going to learn a new skill, let's at least try to learn it in the latest and greatest. So even though this app's had me set up a lot of the, it says set up this and set up that, I use the latest versions of everything. I installed the latest NPM, the Node.js, the React what do you call it, project files. And even though he said, you know, install this version or that version, I just said, nope, I'm installing the latest version. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to try to figure out how to make the latest version work, because that's, you know, that's how you keep your stuff current. Why learn old so you're already behind? So if you're going to learn something, might as well learn the latest. And you can figure out the old stuff if that's what job you get that says do this, but at least you know the new stuff. And if maybe you're starting to work, you can go, well, this can be updated. Let's convert this or convert that. And maybe you can help bring your company up, bring your, bring whatever it is you're doing up to current, so that you're not letting it fall too far behind. Because ultimately what's going to happen is, even if you learn at this point, if you get into a company that's behind and you catch it up, and then you're going to be here and you're going to keep working here until somebody says, hey, we need to get off the old stuff and go to the new stuff. So you're going to be ahead, even behind. And you've got to keep trying to find time to learn so you can try to stay even with the current. And that's kind of where you get caught up into a company who's slow to progress, like I did. I made a mistake with my company. I couldn't find time to work on new stuff, and my skills got a little dated. I'm still good at C#, I'm still good at SQL Server, I'm still good at what I'm good at, but companies want more. They want those things, yes, but they want things that I don't have, and that's why I'm doing this. So I've been kind of struggling a little bit with this. I'm sure it's there. I figured it out with the actual setup, the login. My login is different. So if I go to my, I didn't know workspaces. Workspaces have their own favorites. That's interesting. Okay, so I can go here to my NextJS course, and I can close this and go here, go to my continuing education, and we'll take this. This is where all the code is held. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to have access to it unless you got the NetNinja application. So what you're going to see here is just glimpses of where I'm at. But this will also let me have a reference. So it tries to keep me, I don't know, I want to say honest, keep me making sure that I'm on path. So I haven't gotten back to the NetNinja code or class because I'm trying to fix something that the NetNinja thing doesn't cover. He's pretty smart. He's really good. I really like the way that they do their stuff, and it's not his fault that the stuff he did got deprecated a few months after he did it. I mean, you know, such is the way, right? There we go. So we got sign up. This is what I've already completed. This whole thing uses, again, helpers. This is the old way. But now this is the new way. Probably not as much difference as you might think, but there are some key elements in how the sign up worked. For one, I'm not using the sign up. I'm using Next Navigation, which is use router. I'm also using the Supabase.js, Supabase/Supabase.js, which is not on here. And then my code actually calls slightly differently. The sign up portion is similar. It's pretty much the same. But the create client, I think, is different. He has this constant Supabase create client component client, which is really weird. So this helper has this weird thing. So that was basically the gist of what I had to do to change things. Overall, it stayed pretty much the same, right? Because we're still using the sign up object. We still use those bits. The sign up object, however, in the new version has the data object. So if things are good, you have a data object. If things are bad, you have an error object. Here it's just if things are bad, you get an error object. If they're not bad, you don't. So the code down here says if you got an error object, we have an error, do something with it. Or if we don't have an error object, go ahead and forward to where we want to be. The new version says if we have a data object, forward to where we want to be. If we have an error object, show the error, basically the same thing. So it's a little bit different. Not a lot going on that's variant, but some. Okay. This stuff was just me trying to solve, so I could probably take these out. These console.logs are just me trying to see, okay, well, what's going on? Oh, I'll show you. I know what these are for. These were there because there's an error happening when I run this. Everything works, but there's an error in the underneath that says, hey, you're calling more than once. It's like, I don't know why. How am I calling more than once? I'm just doing this thing. It's getting this error that says multiple post requests, and there's actually an error that says you don't have your URL or API key available. Well, obviously I'm providing it because it is getting it and it is sending me the email. So there's something broken. I don't know what it is, haven't figured it out, but I do know that it happens here because the pre-request happens before the error, post request happens after the error. So something's happening in here that's causing this duplication error or this error, and I don't know what it is. Somebody somewhere probably knows the answer. I'm not that guy yet. Hopefully someday I'll know what's happening. Is it a super base error? I don't know. But for now, I don't need to have that because I figured that out. We will go Control S, we'll save that. I should probably go ahead and open my, let's kind of start things up here. Let's go ahead and start up my, I don't really know if I need my data server though, because I'm using Superbase. I don't know if I need, I probably don't need it, but I'll get an error when I go to my root page because I'm not going to log in off the bat. I mean, I'm sure at some point he fixes that, but let's just go, for now, we'll run dev, see what happens. I should be able to still get this to function. So I'm going to go here. Now what this will probably do is show an error out the gate because this stuff is not yet pointing at the Superbase database because it's not in the Superbase database. I would expect an error, yeah. So there's error because it's not actually attached to the Superbase database. So, and the data that it's expecting is from the local JSON, which I did not start the local JSON server. But what I do want to see, this is what I'm working on. Now this should work. Okay, so this is the login, this is the sign up. And I've already done the login, I've already done the sign up. I don't know how long the email is good for, but I'm going to go ahead and do sign up again. So I'll show you what's happening here. And I'll have to go work on the coding a little bit while this triggers. So we're going to go ahead and inspect, and we'll go to here. And then we'll go here, and we'll just say, and that's my business email. It's perfectly fine if you want to use it for something, but I would recommend that. I mean, that's what I use for when people want to, you know, they write me for help on my business products under AM Games Direct. That's where it's going to go. It's going to go to that email, and then I reply with that email. So it is a public-facing email address. And then I'm going to put in something for a password, and then I'll hit submit, and then I'll get an error. Well, sort of. Huh. I didn't get an error. Wait, what? Every time I've done this before, I swear it's not me. There's supposed to be an error over here. Normally it would just show up right here. It says, you've called too many times. It could be, maybe it had something to do with the fact that I was running my JSON server at the same time. And it was trying to do multiple things. I don't know. That's weird. It didn't blow up. I mean, it wasn't blowing up before. I'd still get here and I'd still get my stuff. But this is basically it working as expected. And then I can go to my, go to my Gmail. And this is all my business email. So yeah, if you see anything there, it's interesting. Whatever. It takes a while for this email to come in, unfortunately. So, um, okay, so this is a terrible name. Kickstarter, Impact Miniatures, backed. Gangster Bang? Dude, come on. Really? That's such a bad name. It's such a bad name. I'm sorry. I have a feeling they know it's a bad name. That is a bad name. It's such a bad name. Why would you name your product that? You're just oh, people. Okay, well, anyway, I'm waiting for my email to come in. It takes a while. I don't know why it takes so long. Superbase is slow to send. Okay, so it's not just Superbase's fault. I do have, let's see here. Let's go here and this might not work. Lately, my webmail here doesn't let me type. Yeah, see, it won't let me type. I don't know what it is. It goes away. I don't know if something about Edge broke it or what. I can only log in Chrome, which is dumb. I gotta go get my email, and I'll show you what happens when I log into my email. Dang it. Oh, gosh, dang it. Okay. Well, apparently I don't know my email address or my login. Wow, isn't that cool? All right, so I gotta wait for it to come in for my email. So let's see. Where is my... It'll show up here in a minute. It's just I didn't want to wait. I was trying to short circuit it. Alrighty. Slow down. Oh, yeah. No wonder I didn't know it. I use a advanced password. I was like, oh, that's totally not what I thought it was. All right, there we go. All right, so I have an email now, right here. confirm your email. Now, of course, this is going to blow up because it doesn't work. I don't know. But this is what you're supposed to be able to click, and it'll take you back to your thing, provides a token. You can see at the bottom, verify token. And it's going to put that token back into my system. My system's going to grab it and decide what to do with it, preferably log me in and call me good. We don't function currently. I'll click on it, but I'm pretty sure it'll blow up, give me an error of some kind. There was a problem. We could not find the page you were looking for. It's like, oh, okay. But hey, it got me back to my website, got me there. But whatever it was trying to do, it failed. So let's go here and see. Da-na-na-na. Let's bring this back over here. And I can close this. Close away. Nope. So yeah, my email is slow to come in on Gmail, so that's why I had to go directly to it. This doesn't actually do anything yet. All right, so we're back here. This is my actual application. We got to figure out why it's blowing up. So it's doing the GET request. It's coming back here, running something, blowing up, and it's not doing the verify OTP or any of this stuff that you would expect it to be doing. So question is, when I get back here, what does it run to? I'm trying to see what path it actually thinks it's hitting. Auth. You want to verify. So there, oh, here's the verify. So I have this page. This is what it's supposed to be trying to get to, I think. Let's go see what they call it. Because ultimately, if it's coming back, it's going to be calling it the same. Right? So what does it call it? So we're going to go here. Oops, wrong one. Nope. Nope, nope. Back to my code, which is right here. And we're going to go right there. All right, so we come back to verify, handle submit. So we got auth callback. This is where it's actually trying to come back to. This comes back, we got the callback, and then we go into this page, which is going to be auth. Has he actually done auth callback yet? Am I on the right one? So it could be that I'm actually on the wrong lesson here. Email redirect callback. I don't know why I keep going back to this one. Hey, look, I set up a schedule for my Twitch. All my tools. All right, let's put this over here. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're working on the email redirect callback. We got route.js is what he's got going here. So we are working on it. So he does have an auth callback route.js. Do I not have that one yet? Oh, there it is. This is the one I'm supposed to be working on. So we need my thing to basically function like his thing. And here's the problem. I took this out of an example I saw that was kind of TypeScripty. So you see this is TypeScripty stuff. But you see, that's not actually on here. It's just me trying to copy and then try to figure out what I need and what I don't need. All he has is the get code, and I have get code right there. I don't know if I need this next and type stuff. I don't know if any of that's necessary. So that's where I'm kind of getting torn a little here. He's got this create router handler client, which doesn't exist because that's a helper thing. So I need to find out what the equivalent is to the create router handler client in Supabase-JS or whatever the Supabase's latest thing is. And that's part of the challenge right now. So let's go ahead and see if we can figure that out. I'm going to, for now, comment out all the stuff that doesn't appear. I don't know, because it could be doing something else, adding some extra things. I don't know why it says redirect to equals request next URL.clone. I don't know why it's doing that. We have, his has new URL request.url. New URL request.url, but he's got const search params, so he's doing something with, I say he or say they or Supabase, whatever, but I'm going to actually do what he does because I don't think I don't feel like that's a necessary. I think they're just doing something that's different. URL equals, we're just going to go ahead and do this one. URL, new URL, request URL, and then we have the code. I don't know what the hash thing is. I'm not taking it out because I may still need it. Like I said, I don't know for sure how this lines up and how much of this stuff is extra versus what we actually need. But I'm going to try new URL, request URL, constant, because all he does is if code. Like I said, I'm just trying to simplify it down to what exactly is the same and take out the extra stuff because right now I don't need the extra stuff. I mean, I may want to know what that extra stuff is doing, but for the sake of trying to just get in line and get my parts working so I can continue on with the class, but working in the latest version, that's fine because eventually I might learn these things and know what they are. If they're not required now, are they required? When will they be required? You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that, I have a feeling they're not required to make this work, I hope. Okay. Because all he's doing here is simple. I mean, he's trying to keep it simple. He's just trying to teach you the basic stuff. What I'm a little concerned at is here you don't see any call to cookies at all. And I don't know, can I do that? Because create router handler client cookies, it's like we're not the same. So we're creating a client. We have Supabase create client, and then he's got exchange code for session await. I don't know if that's a valid thing or not. So this is where I kind of have to make sure that I'm doing the same math. So token hash and type, see, they're doing these extra things. I don't know why I have to do that. I don't know what the token hash, because it's a search param, right? Right, so we got this search param, token hash, and type, which is weird too, because they redirect search param dot delete token hash, redirect to search param dot delete type, and then you're like, wait a minute, why did I delete those? Redirect to search params, delete token hash. I guess I'd have to learn that, but I'm not sure what that is, and I'm going to take it out. Then I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to type basically what he is. If code. This is just how I learn, right? You know, bring it down to functional, and then I can go, oh, okay, well, then this other thing might be, you know, important. But for now, we're going to go const. Actually, you know, I'm almost positive that this is the right way to call the create, because that, the way he does it is not going to function. I don't think this create router handler client is a thing. So at least I don't think so. Oh wait, Superbase dot auth dot. Now this might work. Exchange code for session. We'll see what that does. All right, so this is pretty much the same. We have the redirect to path name equals return the user to an error page with some instructions. He's not doing that. I mean, again, not a bad idea, but I'm not gonna do that right now because again, it's about getting this thing to function. Next response, I redirect, and this is URL dot. He's doing URL dot origin. URL dot origin. Okay. He's just taking you back to the home page so you can function. Because remember, this is just trying to. That's trying to get you to get the auth working. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything else. So all of its searches and its redirects and stuff are all related to what its simple step is. Whereas this is an application. So when he says URL.origin, he's saying take me back to the root, which is probably going to take me to the dashboard so that I'm already logged in on the dashboard. That's the idea. So I don't know what this is going to do. I don't have a create client component because when I did create client component up here, I didn't. You can see I have a create client, but it's just doing this. I should create a component so that I can reference it, and I'd have to import it. Probably not a bad idea. And I could probably do it inside of the auth. So let's see what happens. See if I can do that. I haven't actually tried to do a create a component on my own. I mean, you know, short of the class. So this will be new. We'll create a new file. We'll call it create client.jsx. Now the problem with this is it's client. It's create client. You can see here that my page setup is use client. Everything I'm doing right now is use client, which is kind of sort of the problem. I'm not using the server. So I could be breaking something here because these aren't being made into server components. And a lot of the examples on Superbase are using server components. So I could be causing myself, that could be my pain. I'm creating myself. So this is live and learn, man. But I want to be consistent. So we're going to have everything be use client. Does he do use client? Oh, he's not even doing use client on his. Okay, never mind. Okay. I need, my wife needs me to send some stuff to her, but I'll do that in a little bit. Let me let her know. Let her know. I'll get to that in a moment. My son texted me and said, I found 2 spiders in my room. You need to respray your spider spray stuff. I spray every few months because I have this stuff. It works pretty good, but you do have to do it every few months to keep things pretty spider free. So there's 2 in my room. I killed them, but I want, you need to spray that stuff. He's just all paranoid about spiders. He won't even use our downstairs bathroom because he saw spiders in there a couple of times. Not spiders, spider a couple of different times. And now he's like all paranoid that he's going to be in there and there's going to be a spider in there. So he goes upstairs. Oddly enough, he's found him upstairs in our bathroom up there every once in a while too. But for some reason, he still prefers upstairs. I don't know. back to task. Okay, so I've simplified this, got it down to the most basic of basic, matching pretty much what this is trying to do, except I don't know if I can use a create client component because this is on the server side, and if I don't mark it as use client, it won't be able to use it because you can't import components that are server in. So I think I'm gonna have to identify. I would imagine I can't just say use client without the API key and such. So I'm actually not going to do, mainly because my understanding is you can't pass client-side components back and forth. So it might not do me any good. So you can see here that he's doing the use client. And for some reason, he doesn't, I think it has something to do with the helper. The helper is allowing him to bypass the need to actually pass these, because I've noticed in the latest code of the Superbase that doesn't use the helpers, you actually have to do this stuff, which is pass the actual value in. It's not going to just read it for you. And so these are variables set up on env local, but as you can see, I actually have them set. So let's go to my route callback. All right, so we want to do use client. I'm just going to put my const up here, and then we'll take this guy, we'll put him down here, and we'll see if that works. Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? Doesn't work. I'm already there, so I can't be more non-functional than I was a moment ago. I mean, I guess it's probably not true, but you can revert, break stuff that ends up breaking previous steps, but hopefully I'm not doing that. All right, let's see if my email still works. Confirm yourself. Let's see if this still works. Nope, still didn't like it. Didn't complain about the error, but I am still getting an error. So, we could not find the page you were looking for. Error, access denied, error code. Huh. Well, that didn't work. So if I go to the class, and it's supposed to, let's go see. Is there more to this?
The base web address is, okay? And that's pretty much it for now. So once a user clicks on that link in the verification email, all of this magic happens to verify that user with Superbase and then start a session for them on our website. Then they get redirected back to the homepage of the application, logged in. Alright, so I'm just on the dashboard for my Dojo Help Desk project, and I'm going to go to the Authentication tab, and this should show that we signed up with a user, Yoshi, at netninja.dev, but at the minute, it's waiting for verification.
Interesting. Now that's Superbase. Alright, let's go over to Superbase. It's, I gotta sign in though. Okay, so is this auth? Auth. Okay, let's see what I got. These are the ones I've tried. Oh, interesting. These are triggering. Last sign in April 24th. It actually, April 29th, 2024. Oh, that was last week when I did it. And then, no, April, no, April 29th. No, this is the one. Okay. So this is when when I ran the click and it blew up. And remember the very first time I said, hey, let's see if this blows up. That was about 15 minutes ago. It actually worked. It actually ran the code, but something else kept me from progressing to the next step. That's very interesting. Because we're not waiting for verification anymore. Although this junk email, which that one's probably never going to clear because I just created a junk thing. But even last week when I got the error on my Romero family email, it also worked. I mean, it's registering it, but something's happening at this point of cannot find the page. Error equals access denied. So something is weird. So it is connecting. Create client, exchange. Could it be that my homepage doesn't work? I mean, there is that, right? I don't have, because like if I go back to dashboard, I know dashboard works. That's where it should be taking me. So something's happening during the verification step that's blowing things up. So I'm obviously doing something wrong. And it could very well be that the stuff I took out because I'm trying to do it more like his doesn't function without the stuff that's like theirs. So let's do a Google search. Google's your hero, right? I mean, Google's the ultimate way. So let's say email redirect redirect callback Superbase and React. Auth UI redirect React Auth UI React handling. Let's see if this guy does anything. Configure redirect URLs. Here's an example. Best practice. No. And the problem is too, because they change the way they do stuff, you have to make sure you're looking at current. You're not using the helpers. Here's an example of how to use redirect to parameter and password reset email. Auth reset password for email. Well, it's not really looking. Best practice wildcards and redirects. Superbase signup guide. Password reset guide. Forget password recovery. Password reset. Configuring redirect URLs in Superbase. Auth UI React. See, they have this Auth UI React. What is that? That feels like something that's very specific to React, and it should work. But I'm not using that because I haven't seen an example of how to do it. When implementing authentication in a React application, you can use Superbase Auth React package. The redirect parameters allows you to specify the destination after a successful login. Huh. Interesting. I don't know that I have. I mean, I'm using that. Let's see if I can find some more explicit details on this guy. Maybe that's what I need to have. Auth UI, pre-built Auth UI for React. Let's see what that is. How old is this though? I'm concerned about dates because if it's 6 months old, it's going to be a problem, or 8 months old. And the Superbase code is not great because it's very limited on what it shows you. It shows you like the basic login. It doesn't even show you a full setup. So examples. Let's go here. React. source. Now the problem with this is not NextJS, so we're a little off. You know, it's interesting. React is a JSX thing, or JavaScript thing, but yet they show you a lot of examples using TypeScript. See, there's no JavaScript here. It's weird. So I must be misunderstanding something. Why are they using JavaScript for wait. React, JSX, or TSX? In React, JavaScript is a primary language for code. However, is often written using JSX and TypeScript. Huh. Well, you know, I like here, he has an example of what the difference is between JavaScript and the TypeScript. JSX is JavaScript, but with JSX enabled, which is React's language extension to allow you to write markup directly in code, which is then compiled to plain JavaScript with JSX replaced directly by call. Targeted. TSX is similar to JSX, except it's TypeScript with JSX language extension. Okay. So you're basically, constant foo functional component. So you're basically saying what your component is in TypeScript. It's really the only difference, it looks like. You know, it's just same stuff, same thing going on, except you actually type the type. I guess that's a thing, huh? TypeScript. You're actually saying your type. Constant foo functional component. Well, JavaScript says, we'll just say this. That means, no, it's actually, no, you actually have to type that here too. So really all it is TypeScript adds this in with an extra equal sign. Not even an extra equal sign, even less than that. So the only thing that's different is you're defining the type of your object. That's it. That's the that's that's TypeScript versus JavaScript for that line. I mean, granted, that's very simplification, but that's interesting. All these will compile down to JavaScript code. One follow-up question: when I bootstrapped with Create React App, the files have JS extension. However, they look like JSX example you gave. Why is this? Like I said, some use the JS extension even though the file includes JSX syntax. Some tools handle it gracefully, and others throw errors because they accept only JavaScript in JavaScript files. I see one more question. Why can you write JSX code in JS file? JavaScript should always be a JSX file. However, some programs are forgiving and will work even if it's mislabeled. But not all programs. JSX is not meant to be in a JS file, even if it does work. JS JavaScript files a JavaScript file extension. This is used for any modules and snippets of code made in pure JavaScript. You should use JavaScript files when writing functions that won't use any React feature, but will be used among different React. Okay, so, all right, so that's nice for the JavaScript. Hey, Savinicus, hey man, how you doing? Okay, so as soon as he arrives, hopefully he can help us both. So, I will be trying to, right now, I'm trying to determine, there's too many variations on, like I'm running into a problem. Okay, so I don't know if you weren't here earlier, but essentially I've got this issue where my Superbase tells me everything worked on the get the email, confirm the email. So as far as Superbase is concerned, we're good. But something's happening along those lines where I'm still getting an error once I get to my code. So it's coming back, it's confirming the code, it's doing whatever. I would imagine this part is working. Maybe my whole problem is this redirect URL part is the only thing that's not working. I can't say for sure because it's throwing me off. When I go here, thank you for registering is my verify page. And then, is it here that I want to see? Yeah, so I'm getting this access denied. That's my learning part right now. I'm trying to figure out why this is not doing what it's supposed to. Really, all it's supposed to do is get there and it should send me back to here. I should just end up on the dashboard. Actually, no, I should end up on the dashboard. Something blew up, something responded poorly to my code, and then it could be that I've already registered, it already worked once, and then I just didn't have this set right. I don't know. I'd have to, I guess, I don't know what happens if you keep trying. I would imagine it would just try again. It would register it. Because like, if I go to Superbase, and it shows me this is the email I last attempted to register. And it worked. Each time it's worked when I called it back. So something I'm doing is actually doing what it's supposed to. But then it still blows up on my end, on my application end, and gives me this. This worked, but it didn't go. My domain register? No, I don't think so. This is all happening local on my system. I'm using localhost. I'm not actually on my domain. I'm just calling back to Superbase, which has, so what's happening is when I log in, Superbase gets these URL and API keys, and as long as they're valid, it'll send an email to the address defined in the signup. So I'm here. So you go into the signup. If I go here and let's just say I go back to the signup. So this is where I am. I put in my email, I put in my password, and I say submit. That goes back, processes against a Superbase, sending them the API and the URL, and they say, oh, okay, well, let's send an email to that, and that'll bring you back to this API auth callback. That email comes into my personal email, wherever I happen to have it, which looks pretty much just like, oh, because I don't have it up. So I have this, okay. Confirm your sign up. That's all it is. It's just like you're supposed to. This is what you want. It's going to confirm your sign up. I click confirm your mail. When I do, I come back and I end up what looks like working. Now I'm starting to question in my mind that the problem isn't, like I click on here, loading, there was a problem. What's the problem? It just says access denied up here. Well, what do you mean access denied? Error code. email link is invalid or has expired. Okay, so that could be my problem. Actually, that could very much be my problem. Invalid or has expired. Okay, maybe that's my problem. Maybe it's just that it worked fine. So yeah, I'm getting a request to confirm my email. I think what the thing is, what may have happened was when I did it before, I got an error because I hadn't completed this this callback code. All right, so I had done the callback. Um, I think that's what. You know what? I gotta close some stuff here. All right, so we're gonna go back to callback. I hadn't completed this callback code, so I think what happened was it came in and it did all this other junk that didn't work, and I got an error from that, and this code wasn't simplified down to the basics. And it went ahead and but it did this part successfully, having registered me with Supabase. Supabase said, "Hey, we're good." But now I've got the code in here correctly. I'm ready to do it to see if it'll route me properly. But now it can't because it's no longer a valid link and I've already registered it. And so, yeah, I'm re-triggering it. It's blowing up. It really should just say the link is no longer valid, expired. So I wonder if I can use the same one and try again. It might not work because I've already registered, which is kind of the problem. So I have to keep coming up with new emails or unregister one of my accounts. So that's what I play. Maybe localhost. Okay, so we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to sign up. Okay, I do have other email addresses. Let's try webmaster at activemindsgames.com. And we'll just do my usual, and we'll say submit. And we're gonna go inspect because I want to see this happen, and we'll hit submit. See if any errors happen. Nope, no errors. Thank you for registering. Now, I have to go, then I go check my, okay. Weird, okay. Waiting for it to come in. And of course, it's gonna take a bit. Just waiting for my email. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll give it a go. You know that's posting, right? you should just send it to my email or to my personal tab. What do you call it? My personal text. Yeah, disposable, yeah, but I mean, do you want to dispose of it? Like, I have a junk email. Actually, my personal email is kind of my junk email at this point. So I'm not just standing here looking at my computer either. I'm waiting for this email to come in. I don't know. That's really old. I mean, it says it's from today, but it's old. I will say this is slow to send stuff. Unless I typoed. Did I typo? All right, so if I go, you know what? I may have typoed. It's possible I typoed because it's not coming in. Hello. Shouldn't take this long. I'm sitting here staring. All right, I'm gonna try one more time. Log in, sign up. Here's the thing. I don't mind using these. What did it say? Oh, really? I don't know what that matters. Go to client instances detected in the same browser. What? No, I don't have anything else up here. Oh, you know what? That's probably true. Oops. I should probably get rid of any unnecessary calls to stuff. Huh, okay. See, I have too many calls to stuff going on here. It's gonna get lost. So there, I should only have one now. Too many things going on, Ken. Still shouldn't take this long. See, I'm waiting for email to come in. It's not coming in. Now, it could be that it's blowing up for other reasons. I could just go to Superbase and see what it says. What do I have waiting? If it worked, I will have multiple. Yeah, I have sales and webmaster currently waiting for verification. But I got to get those. I got to get the emails. I can't do anything with them until the email comes in. Hello, email. The fun part of programming when you have to wait for stuff to do what it's supposed to do here. Oh, there we go. Did those actually come all the way over here first? Huh, they both came over here first. Okay. That one got all the way through. Is that one sent? Wait, where's the email for this? Oh, there it is. Here we go. Webmaster. Nope, see, that was a brand new one and it still had the same error. Error is different though. This time it says callback access token, blah, 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 blah. Expires at blah, blah, blah. Expires in blah, blah, blah. Refresh token, blah, blah, blah. Token type, bearer, type, sign up. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so that could be why it's not working. Okay, so here's the deal. I have, so it did fix my webmaster one. There you go. It says it's been verified. But the problem is, it's interesting that it works. It still calls it verified. It still did what it was supposed to do. But this code doesn't work, of course, because I'm trying to upgrade it to the latest version. And my problem, do I not have the actual? I guess I don't. Interesting. Okay, so I need to go back over here and get my NextJS stuff here. I don't know why I don't have that over here. I thought I did, but it could be I just deleted it accidentally. All right, so we're on 24. I don't like having things in two places, so I gotta close that before I confuse myself. Okay. Auth. Oh, it's not 24. It's 25, I think. Is it? Sign up, verify. One of these has callback in it. Nope. Must be 25. Where's callback? Huh. Because, that's weird. Okay. He does some stuff sometimes. Look, if you look at his code here, he's got app callback. Oh, he's got it under API. Oh, where the heck is API? Do I have an API spot? He's got it under API. Why did he put it under API auth? Because he's got an auth up here, but he's got auth down here too. I wonder if he's separating that.
Alright then, so now it's time to
Oh,
actually
nope,
sign
sorry,
users.
wrong one.
User clicked on that link in the verification.
So he must be using it for server-side components. Because he's got the auth stuff at the top, which is your client-side stuff, and then he must be putting it down here for the server-side stuff. As you can see, I don't really have anything under API except tickets. And he adds this auth callback route.js. So I should probably take this, just for the sake of consistency. I'm going to put it down here. Now let's say move. So now we've got, well, it's not really what I wanted. I want it here. There you go. Okay, so we got API, callback, route.js. But he's actually got an auth folder under here too. So it means I got to go back here and actually add an auth folder. And I'm guessing it's just for organizational purposes. He's all right, so we got API auth callback route.js, and then he's got tickets under there as well with the other stuff. So I don't know why we would have to move this to its own folder down here. I'm just guessing because this is actually a server-side component versus up here where I'm doing mostly client-side component parts, because these are all use client. So he's doing this stuff up here, but then down here when we do this, there is no use client. So this is a server object. That's all I can really figure. That's the only reason I can see why he would be doing it this way. Yeah. But okay, so it's kind of neither here nor there. It's still just calling back to the same object. I don't think that's the reason why it broke, because the error does not imply that. The error implies we've got something else going on. So I'm going to pretend like that's not the problem. It is interesting though that when I go, this isn't, no, okay. All right. Yeah, now it's expired again, so I can't use it again. I'd really rather not have to keep redoing my emails. I'd rather use the same one. It's kind of funny, but my sales one never came in. I know I get emails written to sales. Yeah, I don't have a Kickstarter going, but I posted a thingamabobber at this to my Kickstarter, and now it's giving me updates on my Kickstarter again. It's like that's like years ago, but I just posted that so people who were there. Anyway, did you see this? I don't know if you were here when I noticed this. This company backed Impact Miniatures backed this project. Do you see the name of this project? That's, I was like saying that's such a terrible name for a project. What the heck? I'm not impressed by that project. So, I mean, I haven't looked at the project. I'm sure it's fine, but the name is terrible, and I just think they were doing a play on names. Oh, look at that LMS. All right, so I'm gonna try again, and I'm gonna get rid of this. Go back to sign up. Oh wait, what? What? Who? What? Again, other problems. Module not found. Can't. Oh, did it not like that I moved my route.js? Oh, did I not save? Oh, I probably should save. Save. Then I have to go. Sometimes things get wonky if you don't, if you make a lot of changes in your code. You have to do a Control C, kill the application, and then try it again. Just so that it can recompile everything, put everything back where it's expected to be. Now we'll go back over to here. Turn on my inspect. I'm going to once again try to see if I can reuse an email, even though I don't think it'll let me, but at least I should get I want an email that error that actually says, you know, this is already registered or something like that. I think the problem may just be, see, I'm getting that too many requests thing again. That went away for a bit, but now it's back. I don't know what that is. But it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means oh, I wonder if, oh, you know, I wonder if that's what happens when you you send an email that's already been requested. And it's not catching this for some reason, because how would it know? But it might be what's stopping some of the stuff from working. That's probably what it is. I bet you it's saying, okay, like I did Webmaster. It's already been confirmed and updated, but how do it's getting too many requests, so it's saying, hey, you can't register that again. Now, obviously, it's not a very good message for the user. I should be getting back, instead of sending back a new email or having this generic error, I should probably capture that error somehow and say, hey, this has already been registered. That's probably what I should do. But I'm going to see, is there a way to unregister because you have enabled, but how do I is there a nice way to get rid of that? Send password recovery, send message, remove MFA factors, delete user. All right, let's delete user. And this one must not, I don't know, that email must not be working. I'll get rid of that one. And while I'm at it, let's go ahead and dump these other ones because I don't really care that they're there. I need to see things work. I don't need any registered people right now. I'm not at the stage where I care about their current state of registration. So we're going to sign up here again and see if that, we'll see if that goes away when I do the same one again now that I've deleted them. If it was about having already registered them, this should not happen. And if it was, because I haven't started my JSON server, so that's not the problem. So if it's just a matter of, yeah, look, it went away. I did not get that email again. Okay, so the problem is that he was already registered, and that's what this is. I need to capture that somehow, though. Haven't figured that one out. But that's not what this is. That's not where I'm at. It should be an error. But I noticed that, like, I do have on my sign up, I do have this object supposed to return an error object. And so here's error, right? So it's, I wonder if, no, because it should be setting my, so I have data, I have an error object. I wonder if I should do something like, because it's getting an error here. I wonder if the problem, it's not, is it an error though? Because it says thank you for registering, which means I got to the verify point. Because it went to the verify page. So I don't know why. Where is that error triggering? It's triggering in here somehow, some way. You know, this could make a big difference here because my path is API auth callback. And if I didn't put this under API auth callback and I was running it up here, that was probably where I was broken. I didn't even realize that my path didn't match. I don't know why that didn't click to me. Alright, let's go see what we got here. Is it not here yet? 10:34. No, the one I got should have been just like right now. Like probably 10:50. I used Webmaster, right? What did I use? Well, I'm looking at my root here. I'm not seeing the email. Let's see, does it? I deleted the user, ran it. Supabase should be showing that I've got it pending again. Yeah, webmaster at activemindsgames.com. Sent at 10:53. It's only a couple minutes. Sometimes things are slow. Let's see. Still waiting. So I should be getting a new one here shortly. It's like if it sent the email like it's supposed to. Ugh. All right. Some point, some way, somehow, I'm going to get something. I do know that it's really slow to send out emails sometimes. Because like even this one says, let's see what I get. Like this 950. Oh, I can't go back and look because I deleted them. I shouldn't have. I should check. But the time it gets here is not always the time at which it was sent. So it's really hard to know how far apart these are. And I don't know. I'm starting to doubt that it sent the email. It's been a little flaky with the email sending. I have actually done this a couple of times, and it never actually sent the email. Waiting for verification, but I'm not getting the email to verify with. All right, I guess I could try to resend it. All right, well, let's try to send it again. Shouldn't be a problem because I don't have... All right, let's clear this, make sure. Let's see what happens. It hasn't been verified, so I would hope that it's not going to complain about this. But it might. Nope, didn't complain. All right. But that doesn't answer the question as to why it's taking so long to send me the email. So I know that that part works. So it's just a matter of seeing this dang thing arrive. Hello? Hello? I'm watching emails. I'm going back and forth with my eyes. I shouldn't have to refresh these screens. They're up, but I'm so I don't like this part. I've never, to be honest, my personal feeling about the email verification is they suck. I don't like it on any service. I don't like it when my bank makes me do it. I mean, I prefer the text verifications where they send you a text and you can just enter a number because it's more instantaneous. Email it's so 90s. It's so 1990s. Why are we using email still? I want instant gratification, man. I want these things to work right now. I don't want to have to think that it might be working, might not be working. If it doesn't send me the text, I want to know within 30 seconds it's not working, and then I'm off and running. You know, I shouldn't have to wait 5 minutes. I'm looking directly at my server, my web server, and it should be landing. It should be getting there. So what's the problem here, folks? what's going on? It says it sent. Superbase is saying, hey, we sent this out at whatever time. Why am I not getting it? I don't know. And it's the same one. This still says created 1053. The user's been created. I guess I could try a different person. Let's try a different email address. Still dumb. It shouldn't be failing like that, but whatever. I mean, if it's got a problem with the oh, see, that one didn't like it. That one didn't like that. That was a new user. Shouldn't even have been. Look, it didn't even show up. See, there's something weird going on. It's like sometimes it works. I mean, why am I having? I was a different user. And yeah, I got nothing. Or a different email address. I'm not getting anywhere. And we did get the error again. See, it got back to giving me this too many requests. It does still say I have multiple clients open, but I don't think I do anymore. I don't have any other clients open. That's the only one. I think the true client is this. I'll reopen it, but I don't think that's going to matter. Because I don't have any other apps. I got that. This doesn't have anything. This doesn't have anything. Oh, that is that. Yeah. And then that one doesn't have anything either. It's just got the one. It's where my email's supposed to be arriving. It's not though. Off. You suck. Now, this is stuff that I already know works. I haven't even touched that part of the code. So if I haven't touched that code, then it shouldn't be breaking. So if the problem, I'm getting the problems are coming from something else. So what does that say? What does that say about the service I'm using? I feel like it's saying, don't use me. It's like, I'm not reliable. Don't do it. All right, let's try this again. Now, the last time I did this, again, it's not even adding them. Look, the only thing that's here, even though I did a Kenneth R one, it didn't even show up here. And this one's like not even showing up. See, the Kenneth R one didn't even go. Huh. I should be able to type. Jeez, Kenneth. So can a person get dyslexia like late in life? Is that something you can get, or is it just something you're born with and you just deal with it throughout your life? Because sometimes I swear, looking at letters, they look like they turn directions on me, or they're backwards. Not all the time. Just every now and then I'll blink and it'll go away. But it's like 1 second, it's like there, and everything's all, it's like, what the heck? I thought my E's were in reverse. I'm going, what did I just do to type a reverse E? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm glazing over. I need to take a break. That's all I could figure. All right, let's try this again. See? Too many posts. I'm getting the too many posts error again. But yet, Superbase thinks I don't have anything here. It didn't even put it up. And I don't have anything going right now that would imply I've got multiple clients. In fact, it didn't even complain about having multiple clients. All it said was you have too many requests. Now, if you go here and actually look at this, we can go here. See, it just says there's no API key, no API request. But the thing is, when I did the sign up, obviously I'm doing this is untouched code. There's nothing changed. So this should function exactly like everything else, because this doesn't actually do anything right now. I mean, until you call it, until I actually run the callback route.js, it's what it is. The sign up is this piece, and I haven't touched this. It's been functioning fine, but now it's not. So if I can go, what if I go away, come back? Yeah, it's just like, it's not even, all I can figure is maybe it's complaining that, I don't know, that's just weird. So I have no users, no requests, so obviously I'm not going to get an email, but none of these emails came in. So I am confused. And now we're back to, it doesn't like that I have, it says I have multiple true client things going. What is that? And now I'm getting both errors. Got the multiple true clients. It is page JSX, not an error. But this should be avoided as it may produce undefined behavior when used concurrently under the same storage key. On submit. It is page JSX, not an error. But this should be avoided as it may produce undefined behavior when used concurrently under the same storage key. Don't know what that means. But there is something going on, it says. But it doesn't do it all the time, which is also what's weird. It only does it like the second or third time I run the thing. And again, now nobody's showing up here. And this was an email. Done nothing. What to do? Okay, so the problem, I can see what's, I have a feeling these errors, one of these two errors is blocking me from succeeding. Okay. I don't know what, I do the sign up, it works some of the time. I don't know why it's not working all of the time. And it's there's some piece that maybe it's not shutting down, it's not disconnecting, it's not resetting so that I can do this again. So if I run it again, it just says, nope, can't do it because you're doing something wrong. So it's like I have this, but it's like, do I have to close some kind of connection? Do I have to undo something so that, like, what if do I need to close this client? Because I feel like it shouldn't be doing this. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I should not be getting this error after the first time I do it. It's like it works the first time. If I like restart everything and run it, it says, oh yeah, you're good. And then after that, it always gives me these errors. So do I have to get rid of the create client object? Oh, see how this is basically what I'm doing with the create client object here. This is the client side, create client, but this is this is create browser client. And I was trying to create this component earlier, but I decided not to. I just built it into the actual task. Log in, sign up, button form action equals sign up. So it takes you to one or the other. You know, it's funny how they have this. Does this have a sign up option on it? Sign in with password. I wonder if I should try doing it that way. How long have I been going here? Let's go look. 140. Getting cold. About ready to go take a break. I am going to take a quick break and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to try and do it this other way that the super basic example shows and see if that corrects. Because remember, I'm trying to do this using the super base SSR and also trying to map what the training class is trying to do so that I do exactly the same thing. But obviously there's certain things going on that are not fully functional. I'm getting kind of ifsy I don't think those are, I don't think any of that stuff is actual words. But either way, I'm getting partial functionality and it's causing me issues. So I'm going to try to go a little bit more, to go a little bit more detail into what the super base stuff does. After I take a quick break here, I'm going to go put on some warmer clothes for one thing, get out of my workout stuff. I'm no longer warm for my workout, which was now 2 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago, 3 hours ago. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to try it again. So just for a few, I'm even going to use the be right back. So be right back. Alrighty, so I'm back. All right, so let's try this. I grabbed myself a little morning breakfast snack. So strawberry shortcake Greek yogurt. It's probably got a fair amount of sugar, but it's got a decent amount of protein. That's why I let myself get away with it. It's got 16 grams of protein, so it's a good starter breakfast. Yeah, starter breakfast means I'm going to eat more probably within the next hour or so. I'm going to go take an actual lunch or something. So yeah. Let's see here. Here we go. I didn't stop my timer. 10 minutes extra. All right. On to task. Let's go back here. We're going to try and do what this thing says. I'm going to try and do. So they do, again, this is a structural setup. So everybody does things a little bit differently, the way they set up structure. Supabase is doing this thing where they have a middle tier and a back tier, server client, blah, blah. They got a lot of stuff going on here. So the question is, should I just say, and here's the other problem. This is all written in TypeScript, not written in React, JavaScript, which makes it more difficult because now I got to figure out how do I do this in JavaScript. Now I kind of learned a little bit at the beginning of this where I kind of was studying the difference between a JavaScript function and a TypeScript one. And it sounds like the big difference is type. That's really what it is. They're typecasting or what do they call it? Hard typing? I don't know. Basically, they're identifying all your objects with the type specific. So like when you say request, it says request : next request here. That's TypeScript. In JavaScript or in the React, you wouldn't necessarily have to write next request. You would just type request because it's already declared up above. You wouldn't necessarily say that it's a next request. It already knows, the middleware function knows it is a function. So, or it is a next request. But question is, do I know enough to convert it to JavaScript? I don't know. But I'm going to try to write this way. So let's do this. I am going to do it using all of their logic. But try to write it in JavaScript because I'm trying to do JavaScript. I just wish they'd show you all this stuff using React, which it does not. It shows you all this stuff in the NextJS guide, but it won't show you the stuff all using JavaScript or React. Well, same thing. They do have these quick starts that say React, but it doesn't give you that stuff when you get into the not quick starts. And you can actually, I think there's even a thing here, it goes into a multi-factor authentication if you wanted to look at it. I thought there was an MFI thing here, or MFA. All right. I don't see it. I thought there was an MFA option here, but oh, here it is, multi-factor authentication. If you want to get into that. I don't yet. I'm not ready. I'm not ready, man. Hold off. All right. So am I taking a shortcut? Yes, mostly because I don't, I feel like there's stuff out that's over. Say actions, sign up. I have sign up here. Login, error. It's just a login page. TypeScript. All right, how is that different from my sign up? Or the one from the here. So we got Supabase, create client. Now he's not, this one doesn't say, see, this is specifically using server. Now, one of the things I do remember this training did, as he said, for now, we're going to use client. For now. Which means intent, my thought is, his intent is you eventually do this via use server. I don't remember why he said, for now we're going to use client. But I'm thinking I might have to just say screw it and just use server. And just do it their way. Maybe because when you use server, there's a little bit more work to it because of the objects and the way you have to define it. And he was using client so that he can, you know, get you to the working state. But it's not the way you would do it. And I think all right, let's take this. Plus, I don't know how like redirects and stuff necessarily going to function the same, because like this is something you wouldn't have in the component layer, right? Or in a server component. Oh, okay, I see. All right, so it's coming to me. As my brain tries to wrap around what this is doing versus what I'm doing. They do theirs in a single step. I have a login page and a sign up page, which are identical. And they just say login and sign up, and then they do something different behind the scenes based on the fact that you're on the login page or the sign up page. This page, the Supabase stuff is saying, nah, we're just going to have a login / sign up page. And it just depends on the button you click. You're going to click in or you're going to sign up. So I imagine login would fail if you haven't signed up yet. But kind of like web pages ought to do. I mean, when you go to a web page and you haven't signed up yet and you log in and you put in your name and password, click, it blows up and says, sorry, we don't know you. And then you're like, oh, I don't have an account. And you go back and you click sign up. so you're going to have to create this way. Yeah, I actually kind of like that better. It simplifies the amount of code you're writing. You don't have to write 2 pages to manage. Let's do it. I'm going to be, we're going to call it should I just do the same? I mean, sign up, log in. That's one drawback is, what do you call it? Auth, log in, sign up. If I was going to use just one, which one is it? I'm kind of going off the beaten path if I do this, though. I'm doing this, man. I'm doing it. Just hold on. Just gonna wrap around my brain first how I want to do this. So he's using a form object, login page. He's got a handle submit, but he's not doing a submit because the top page, oh, the page that they're actually using is the auth form. Aha. So my auth form is this. And we have on submit. So if I'm going to use this, we got the email. We got this big form. We got submit, handle submit. So it's really going to come down to email, password, set email, set password, submit. And then this handle submit is going to be whatever these pages are. Oh, okay. So this one is actually, it's kind of making it interesting because, all right, so this is acting as the parent and it's calling this auth form. So we go in here and we just auth form it. I don't really need that step because right now I'm using sign up and login as the parent page, and it goes through, oh, we create the how we're going to handle the button that's on the page depending on where you're at. Well, this one takes a different approach, and this one says, okay, well, you're here, you're in one place, we have the buttons and such, and then it's going to handle based on, and I have two different buttons essentially, and each button is going to have their own submit action. So we might have a single, in this case, we would have probably a single handle submit or a single button response. Because they don't actually have them attached to anything. It just says, oh, form action, login, sign up. Oh, okay. So the form action is going to be when we go to actions here, and we're going to say export async function login, form data, again, the TypeScript, so we have it set up as form data. And then we're going to go in here, and somewhere it identifies the form action. Oh, the form action must be the name of the function. Login, sign up. Okay. Yeah. That's the name. So it's calling that function. I mean, it's not bad. Oh. Okay, so this is what you get from me. So you're gonna see this a lot when I'm doing this stuff. Is I go bouncing around a lot in my brain. I don't want to just start coding, just start typing. Sometimes I do, because I want to start seeing how the code is going to lay out. But also, since I'm trying to convert from here to there, and I'm trying to change how one is doing the same thing, and trying to go, okay, well, I want to end up in the same place. So all my auth from the project, from the Next.js training, needs to still come out the same. Ultimately, log in, sign up, pop out logged in, and then I can continue on with the Next.js class without breaking anything. So it has to be able to function the same for the same purpose, and then ultimately bring me back around to the same starting point. So I have the same beginning, same end, and all the stuff in the middle might be jumbled because now I'm using different code, different layout to get the same result. And so I got to make sure. Plus, I'm also trying to take this TypeScript, turn it into JavaScript. So uh, it's like, how do I approach that? What's the best way to approach that? Ultimately, I think it comes down to my form auth, which is this guy, won't be getting called from two different pages. I won't have a login and a sign up page, which is going to be different from the way the JavaScript tool is doing it. So I'm just trying to map that out in my head. I think ultimately I'm just going to have this auth form, and I might have to just change its name to so we got current client, layout, create client, which, you know, this create client doesn't actually do anything. This doesn't even exist because that's the whole nother thing. Just pretend like you don't see that one. All right, so we're going to use this. And if I do that, we're just going to call, I am going to, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to create a new page. Another page for now. I don't want to delete the one that's part of the original until I get this working. So we're going to call this login sign up. No, because I have to call it the page. Gosh. Authorize. We'll just call it authorize. That's so bad. That's such a terrible name. So, I don't know. Wait, there is actually a term. That's good. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. I'm gonna be lame. I'm gonna call it authorize. It could be authorized user, auth user. And then I get stuck on stuff like this. Stop it, Ken. Go. Let's just do the thing. Okay, so we're gonna go here. We're gonna just pop this puppy right in here. That's my page. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna work with. I'm gonna call it just as it is. It's gonna have my login, my sign up, my actions. Except I got to make sure that I'm not doing because I'm using JavaScript and this is using TypeScript. So when I go to like default function auth layout, and this is auth form, authorize, default function login. So there's nothing really going on here that's different. I don't see I'm wondering if my button stuff is going to work here. Mostly because my auth form here, label, button, I'm going to call it the same. I don't think that's going to matter. I think that's just so that it can format the way I want it to. Type password required. Is there anything else I wanted from this guy? Autocomplete. I don't know what the autocomplete thing is. I wonder, could I just do the same stuff? I try to be as consistent as possible. What if I want to try to make it look like his as much as I can, just so that I can say I did it the same way. And I'm using the same name, so it's still just email. And then we'll do the same thing with the password, which is going to go under label. Right? So, oh, the labels are blank. And it's just he's using a span for whatever reason. I don't know why he uses a span. Why a span? Is that just a formatting thing? So he's doing label. And he does it again down here. I don't know HTML4 password. I don't know why that does it. Why that does it this way. Will it break? Will it not work because I'm doing it this way? All right, so we got two labels. I'm not doing it this way because I'm doing it I'm going to try to do it his way. Oops. All right, so we got our label. We got the same input chunk that he's got. He being the trainer of my class that I'm trying to get in line with. And then we have the button, but I'm going to use the 2 button option, which is what I'm doing here. I'm going to have 2 buttons, login and sign up. And I don't know why. Wait, I don't have. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, so this thing doesn't need to be here anymore. Yeah, label. Okay. All right, so we got login and sign up buttons. We've got everything lined up exactly-ish, all the same way. Similar format, different setup. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna have to go to a page called authorize now versus login or any of this. So we'll see. Let's see what happens. Might not even be available to me here, but we're gonna see. Go here, /authorize. Uh-oh. No default component was found for parallel route rendered on this page. Falling back to nearest not found boundary. Oh, you know what it could be? I'm trying to go to a page and I'm not actually, what this should probably be called is just like because like I can't go to create client or layout. I have to go to one of these folders. So let's take this and we'll put it under Mm-hmm. All right. All right, let's try another thing. We're going to try something else. We're going to go here. We're going to create a folder. This is me. This is actually kind of what I'd have to do anyway, right? I mean, if I was actually going to be writing my own app, this is me doing things that actually revolve around doing things. You know, I'm not just being guided, handheld all the way through. And that's what I'm trying to. So this is going to teach me to actually learn to write this stuff so that I can do it without the help of somebody handholding me. Anyway, rename. I'm just going to call this page. What's it doing? There's a lot of stuff going on here. I think I'm going to have to stop this puppy. And we'll do a file. Save just in case. Then we're going to go up and we're going to try to run it again. Ooh, there's a lot going on. Lots of errors too. All right, what's it say? Module not found. Can't resolve .actions. Oh, well, that's because I haven't actually created that. I should probably do that. Let's go ahead and create a file called actions. Yeah, well, it's just this. I only created part of the puzzle. That's why it doesn't like it. And we're going to call, we're going to say authorize, and I'm going to go here and say new file, and I'm going to say actions. Why not? .jsx. I don't even know. Do I need JSX? I guess that's the thing. You can do JavaScript if you're not doing any HTML. The whole thing about JSX versus JS is that you have your HTML built into the JavaScript in a JSX file. If there is no HTML, there's none of this stuff at the bottom of the page or in your code. Like the page has this whole form bit. This is, you know, it's HTML. This is the hypertext getting put into your code. This is where you want to be JSX. If, however, you're doing none of that, you can just do JS. That's kind of what I'm understanding is the difference. If you're not doing any of that, you would just do JS. And that's just you could still do it all as JSX, but, and you know, for consistency, I think it's good to name it that. But if you say JS, you're saying, hey, we're not doing combined data. We're only doing the JavaScript part of the code. This only has JavaScript in it. It's kind of like a little bit of a organizational thing. You're just saying, this has not got any hypertext or markup language in it. So that's my understanding. You're telling it that this is not going to have anything of that sort. So I'm going to take all of this again. Oops. Guess I can't do it that way. Oh, we're just going to stick it in here. Now this could probably almost be this, except it's TypeScript. So I got to go in here and find out, like, I don't need this because this is not TypeScript. All this stuff that says as string, nope, don't need it. Not for JavaScript. And again, I'm trying to do this in JavaScript just because, for my own peace of mind of not trying to bounce all over the place, but I'm learning what the difference is simply in watching it out. Some might say TypeScript's better because it does strongly declare, strongly type your objects, but whatever. Everybody's got their thing. This is more abbreviated. It's less effort. I like abbreviated. Const data typecasting here for convenience. In practice, you should validate your inputs. Oh, so they're typecasting here. Const data form data. Okay, so they're just pulling the data off of the field. I don't know if that's gonna even be possible, because I'm not actually typecasting anything. This is definitely different, because this doesn't actually do the other parts. This just says sign up with data. Oh, data is the two objects you're passing. Okay, so it is doing that, but it doesn't have the redirect. Interesting. It doesn't have. What do I put in for the redirect path? I want the redirect path so that it knows where to go, because how do I know when it comes back? It must be the router. Create a route handler for auth confirmation. Create a route handler for auth confirmation. When a user clicks their confirmation email link, exchange their secure code for an auth token. So that's what this is. And but it doesn't, it's interesting, it doesn't actually put in that reroute. It must just be an assumed layout, an assumed response. We got redirects. See, none of this stuff has any path. All this does is say redirect back to root, which to me, which for my purposes would probably be, if I wanted to be consistent, I would say I'd be here on my sign up and page. I'd be going back to verify. So I want to go / verify. So we'll go here, and instead of going to redirect there, I'm going to say verify. I don't know what this layout piece is, though. What is this revalidate path / blah layout? I don't know what that layout is. Is layout another file that it wanted me to create? Server, client. Route. I don't know what that layout thing is. Is that just revalidate path? I don't know what that is. What is revalidate path? I'm gonna look it up. I don't know what it's supposed to be doing with that revalidate path. It's on there, it's just in the code, but it's not, doesn't describe it anywhere what it's doing. I don't like things that I don't know what they're doing. Revalidate path NextJS. Currently, revalidate path invalidates all the routes on the client-side router cache. This behavior is temporary and will be updated in the future. Wait, what? Can I force a certain page to revalidate from client? Data can be revalidated on demand by path or by cache tag. Revalidate path on API route handlers. Let's I guess I can go look at what these guys say. This is actually a native notify. This is not the same Next.js, by the way. This is Next.js 13. My code is Next.js 14.
API route handlers in Next.js 13. I wrote some basic code that gets the current timestamp. It's supposed to update every time I refresh the page. But watch what happens. When I refresh the page, it stays the same. If you saw my last video, I talked about caching and revalidation. Normally with a server-side component, you have to set the caching to no store or manually set the revalidation. But I already did that in my fetch request. I put cache no store, and I also tried to pass in the next revalidation object. But if you come to the page, you'll notice I can refresh the page and still nothing happens. So what is going on? I finally figured out this is a bug related to API route handlers that is not mentioned in the Next.js documentation. This has happened so often, and I've made so many videos about this, that I went ahead and created a playlist of Next.js API route handler videos. A link to the playlist will be in the description below, and also at the end of this video, if you're interested in watching. There are so many little things that are not in the documentation that can break your production app. You may even find that things work in development, but once you get to production, your route handlers are broken. Well, this is another situation. So here's the bug or feature if Next.js wants this to happen. I don't know. So if you look at this code, you'll notice I'm using a client-side component, I'm using useEffect, and I'm using this function getTime. This function is accessing an API that I created called datetime. It's getting data from the API route handler I created in this path. So the very first time you go to this site, it will update properly. So for example, I'll shut down my server and I'll say npm run dev again. So you'll notice the very first time you go to your website, it will show you the right time. But after you go to it for the first time, the data is being cached. And even if you have something like a useEffect that is supposed to trigger every time this function is used, anytime someone accesses this page, you'll find that the fetch request does not update the data on the screen. The data stays the same. The way to fix that is to use something called revalidate path. And I'm going to show you how this works right now. First, if you'd like to follow along, you can go to nextchat.ai. I created a prompt for revalidate path. It's free to sign up. There's no credit card required. Once you're logged in, you can click this global prompt library. You can search for revalidate path. The one I created is specifically this one right here, revalidate path with API route handlers. You can copy that prompt, come back to your page. You can create a new prompt. Call that prompt Next.js revalidate path or whatever you want. I'm going to paste the prompt there, save it, and I'm going to create a new conversation. And to access that prompt, you can say / and go down to the revalidate path. Click Shift, Enter, and I'll say the data on my page is not updating. What is wrong? I'm using API route handlers. And it starts to explain how it could be due to caching, and it mentions that you can use the revalidate function to fix the problem. And I'll say, how do I use the revalidate path function? Give me an example. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and copy some of this code. So I'll copy the import revalidate path, come back to my API route, and you'll notice this is the GET request that's getting the timestamp using this API. Then it says the way you use it is you declare the path, and then you put that path within the revalidate path.
It's interesting how the different I don't know. He must be using like GitHub Copilot. I've never really used that to get you that code examples, but. And all this is just so I can know what revalidate path is doing. It looks like what it's doing is it's going to make it sure that it refreshes. I don't know still what layout is though on there. I mean, Um, okay, so I'm getting distracted by things around me, but anyway, okay, so what it does looks like a refresh. My main concern at this point isn't so much, okay, so now it looks like it's going to force me to refresh this. Now, I don't know if there's a bug or what's going on with that. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. This was 10 months ago. This is Next.js 13. Maybe it's not even a problem anymore. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a current problem. Um, next, let's see, revalidate path, Next.js. I'm not going to look at that part. I want to see what the functions are, because it's got two parameters, it looks like. Okay, revalidate path is a string, and the type, oh, so the type, that must be because we're type scripting it. So path, optional, page or layout, string to change the type of path to revalidate. If path contains a dynamic segment, for example, product slug page, the parameter is required. Oh. String to change the type of path to revalidate. So it's going to revalidate whatever the page it's going to is. I don't know what are a page and a layout. I mean, you're saying the type, but what is that? A layout page? Is that like a CSS? Or does that mean it's going to not be code? It's just going to be output. It's just going to be visual. So it says layout. So if it's just layout, it's just straight up page versus. So it's optional. I don't think I need it because I'm going straight to the verify page, and the verify page is just going to be what it is. I'm not going to use it. I don't even know why I have to revalidate it. but I will, just because it's doing it that way. Use the examples given to you, and somebody might explain to me why I would need to revalidate the page, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. That's just the home page, and I'm going back to my home page, or to the verify page in this case. I should probably revalidate. I don't even know. I don't think I need this, to be honest. I'm going to comment it out. I'm not going back to their home page, because revalidate might mean clear it, because you're going back to the original root, and you're going to the original root of this authorized thing, but I'm not going to the authorized root. I'm going away from it. So I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to go with not necessary. I'm going back to the home page, but because remember, this whole bit that's here is designed off of a create application and then do these things. And so you're basically working, everything is just off the auth form, and your home page is the auth form. So it's going to bring you back to the auth form as you're finished. I don't want to do that because I'm trying to work it into an application. I don't want to go back to the auth form. I want to go to the next stage or next step of the process, in which case I have a verify form that says, hey, we did this. Go ahead and be happy. So I'm trying to manipulate it to, like I said, closely mimic what the class is teaching me, and not what this is trying to centralize it down in a single step. So learning and applying, taking what I know and trying to turn it into other stuff. So let's see how that works. Okay, so we've got that saved. We've got it created. We've got our server. Let's go. This is our actions. In a sense, I'm actually doing the sign in with password part too, right? So it's actually developing the whole thing. And then we have this. This is an error page if things go wonky. So we got error, redirect to error. Am I doing, is this one doing, what does this one do with an error? Yeah, this one's just saying set the error. Doesn't really say anything. It doesn't do anything with it. I don't actually have an error page. I have set an error object, but I don't actually do anything with the error object. So I'm kind of okay with doing it the way this says. I kind of like the fact that we have an error page. So let's do that. Let's go up here. I'll create a new file called error. I'm all right with that. Well, he's got an error. He's got, they use it. So we'll go here. I'll say error / error dot. Oh, I think I need to do this different. If I'm going to do it that way, never mind. I think if I'm going to do this, I have to add file. And then I have to say error / error dot. Actually, it's error page.jsx. Yeah. And then, did I put that in the right place? Node public. Yeah, it's in the right place. It's kind of throwing me off because how come this one got a how come, oh wait, oh, okay, so that's a standard folder. I see, that's what it is. So these aren't normal folders. They're blue because they have an off path. But I'm curious why these ones turned out like tickets here has got a blue subpath, and create's got just a standard folder is blue. I don't know how they do their color coding, but ultimately I think we're fine. So we'll go here. So the way my app was working, and again, this is I'm kind of going off the beat. If you go look at this auth and I go sign up and I get an error, you see something went wrong. There was a problem, blah, blah, blah. But that's because I have, is there like, does my auth form have anything like that? No. My layout, Dojo help desk, sign up, log in. Where is this guy getting his error? How was I doing it before? See, I don't have an error object here. Components, nav bar, logo, auth route, that's nothing. Auth form. See, there's no like, where is it when I go to sign up? Verify. Oh, so we're under, oh, okay, verify. Verify is the page it's going to. All right, so when there's an error though, so when there's an error for sign up, it goes set error. And then somewhere, how does that actually, so if we go in, somewhere it says error. It's just saying what it is. There was a problem. But where, okay, where is it saying that? There, a problem. Let's just type in problem. Ah, is it going to not found? There was a problem. We cannot find the page we were looking for. Go back to, nope, that's not it. I don't know where where there's a problem is showing up at. Oh, fun. And now I'm starting to create pages that aren't even in the thing. So I was like, I'm going to confuse myself. I got to get those out of there. But ultimately, I think what we got here is, because see, this is where it creates the object, the page, which is the same as my authorized page. We're going to do that. And then we have our actions. But when it goes back to verify, verify says, hey, thank you for registering. That's what verify is. That's all it says. You know, thanks for registering. But when it fails, it goes back and says there was a problem. There's an error. But there's nothing on this auth form that says we got handle submit. And it just goes, we go back to sign up, and then it kicks back and it says error. It just says set error. But somehow that error, it doesn't tell you what the problem is. It just says there was a problem. I don't know why it just says there was a problem. It doesn't tell me. There's not a, I don't have an idea of where this is actually getting defined at. If it's part of the handle submit, we got handle submit, and it just says set error. And then error never actually gets set to anything, which is what's throwing me off. And under verify, there's nothing here that says anything. And then we got auth form, which does get your information. It says email, password, set email, username, value, on change, set password. But it doesn't do anything with it's not doing anything with that error. We're setting the error on the state, but where is it actually? How does it know when to put it out? Class name button. On change. Set password, email. And we have the error object. I just don't know where it's putting it out. Is it on my... Oh, here it is. There was a problem, not found. Well, no, I guess that's not it. That's a different page. Nav bar, children, dashboard. Huh. All right, well, yeah, I don't know yet. Let's move on. Let's get this stuff in place. Maybe I can trace it when I've actually got it running. For now, we'll just leave it as is. So we've got my authorize, we've got my actions, got my verify, redirect /error, which I haven't created. Hello? She's not here right now. No, I'm sorry, that's not current. Thank you. Bye. I don't know what that is. About an inquiry. I don't remember about an inquiry. I didn't put no inquiry in about my roof. I mean, probably should have fixed my roof, but it wasn't an inquiry about that. Shouldn't have answered it. That phone is my junk phone. That's where I send everything that I'm not sure if they're going to sell my number. I send them to this number, and I never use this number. But every now and then I see it ring, and it looks like a number that might be current, local, whatever. I'm like, okay, maybe I should answer it. And then bam, oh, shouldn't have answered it. Okay, so I've really gone over my time so far. So I'm going to, let's keep plugging away here. I'm going to go for 15 more minutes here. See where we at. Okay, so let's get this going. We've got that in place. We're going to go ahead and redirect to error, which means I have to create an error page, which I kind of did, I believe. I got my error page right there. we're going to go here and yeah, let's just type in that. It's not ideal because I don't really care to have that there because I know it's redundant. I feel like my page already handled error. I don't know why. I just couldn't trace how it was doing it, so I decided not to mess. I'm going to let this be its thing. Um, so we got actions, we got the page, we have everything doing these items. Then we have to do this route callback, which is basically the step that's going to do the callback. So let's go to authorized, and we're going to go, we're going to put it under authorized too. He calls it, ours, or rather mine calls it callback. But this is, it's interesting to me that there is no, on this version of it, using this, the page actions, none of them use callback. They don't put in a redirect at all. So it's like, is it just assumed it's going to be under this page? Create route handler for auth confirm. When a user clicks their confirmation email link, exchange their security code for an auth token. Since this is a route handler, use the Supabase client from Supabase server.ts. So to access Supabase through NextJS app, you need two types of Supabase clients: client component client and server component client. To access Supabase from server components, server actions, and route handlers, which only run on the server, create a utils Supabase folder with a file for each type of client. All right, let's do it. Let's just do it like they're doing it so I can make sure it works. Now I have Supabase here. And oh, they don't. I mean, it doesn't have to be utils. It could just be Supabase. It's like there's no reason why it has to be exactly the same. I don't have to, I mean, because Supabase is Supabase, and I don't think I need to do it under a utils. But then you have to set up your references differently, right? All right, so new file. We'll call it server.js. And we're just going to go here. Now this is TypeScript, so I'm going to have to maybe make some edits here so that I can pass this off. So you see how it's defined, how it's typecasting them. Okay. I think that should happen. The set method was called from a server component. This can be ignored if you have middleware refreshing user sessions. The delete method is called from a server component. This can be ignored if you have middleware refreshing user sessions. So that's interesting. So you got to do the middleware. I didn't put the middleware in. That's what this middleware TS is here. This is what it's supposed to do. to refresh your code, keep it functional. All right, create a middleware file at the root of your project. Since server components can't write back and forth, the middleware is responsible for refreshing the auth token, passing the refreshed auth token to server components so they don't attempt to refresh the same token themselves, passing the refreshed auth token to the browser so it replaces the old token. This is accomplished with response.cookies.set. Copy the middleware code for your app. Add a matcher, so the middleware doesn't run on routes that don't access Supabase. Be careful when pronouncing. Create a login. So I don't know what a matcher is. What is a matcher? Middleware matching paths. Oh, that's what this matcher is. Oh, match all request paths except for the ones static files, image optimization files. Feel free to modify this pattern to include except for the ones starting with underscore next static, underscore next image, favicon. Feel free to modify this pattern to include more paths. What does a matcher do? So the middleware doesn't run on routes that don't access Supabase. I guess that's just so that you can put in some stuff that's not going to blow up. You don't want to be authorizing things that nobody cares about. You don't need to authorize your images or your static stuff that's not going to have any data on it. So, all right, let's do this. Now, in theory, anything that's client, I should probably have underneath my other stuff down here, underneath the API auth, just because that's where this stuff should probably be. Anything that's server side, but really, I shouldn't even have to write server side, right? Because it's NextJS. Everything by default is server side, unless you say use client. It's just the way that I'm told. That's the way the guy said. So I'm going to listen to him. But let's go back up here to authorize, and then we're going to go. It says create a at the root of your project. All right, let's do it. At the root of my project, we'll call it middleware. Let's just say, I know it's called middle, but let's call it. I feel like it should be underneath the Supabase object, but we'll call it token all right, how about client token handler. I think that's better than middleware. So says me. What is it, a TS? So actually I got to change the name of that, rename, and call it a JS. And then I'm going to put this stuff here. Okay. And I'm going to take this out because I am not doing TS. So I got to take all this junk out. All right. So yes, that's it. I don't need to do anything else. I could add some stuff in here later on if I don't want certain things to be hit or validated. But for now, we will skip that. And then we're going to go back up to my authorize over here, or actually Supabase. Supabase. There we go. I'm going to add a new file. We're going to call this one server token handler. And that's also supposed to be called JS. Rename .js. And then we're going to go all the way over here. We're going to select this whole nonsense little thing. I'm really just copying and pasting, really. But I do have to, as you can see, I'm totally broken because I keep having to take out my type handlers. And that's because I don't want to have both. I don't want to have TypeScript and JavaScript because it just adds confusion. And I don't like to be confused. Sometimes I don't mind. Like I know C# will let you declare types right in the middle of it, and other types of code will often do it, but it just, you gotta pick one, you know. Doing things both ways just because because you're copying stuff, it's not necessarily good. Plus, this gives you a better idea of what's valid and what's not. I don't know what this ... options is. Response cookies .set. What is ... options? Oh, that's weird. Name, nothing. Value, empty space, ... options. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But there's no squiggly lines, so that's good. So I've got a middle. I've got the middle. I've got these. I should have that. I don't know. Does that mean I can go ahead and test this? Guess. So I'm going to have to go to a page called authorize this time. So let's just see what happens. You know what? I'm going to Control C this because I really do want to close this and see what happens. And then we're going to go npm dev server. I've done too many things to feel like I just want to, I really want to just get this going again. Here we go. Here we go. Nope, we blew up, but it's different. Email is not defined. Wait, what? Run authorize. Authorize page.jsx. Okay, all right, where are we at? Login, sign up, email. Email is not defined. Error. Email is not defined. Let's see what this says, because for some reason, autocomplete, username, value equals email. Oh, wait, really? Oh. Oh. Yeah, okay, so that's different. That's going to be, yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, not exactly. I can take that out, but I'm pretty sure the only problem is that I just need to remove that. But we will confirm. Okay, so the thing is, my other forms actually have to pass in an email and a value into these things because they're objects. They're defined inside of my sign up page. So I got these handle submits, email, and password. And since I'm not actually defining them when the handle submit comes around, there's no handle submit in these processes. So I don't think I have I don't have a need for those. And in theirs, right here, right here. Or is it right here? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So this one says email form data dot get email as string. I just think I don't think I need my value thing here because I'm not doing that. Otherwise, it's probably the same. If I go to the login page, yeah, they just have password and email, and then they do a email as the name. Name is password and email. Yeah, it's the same. And we got type, email, password. Type, email, password. It could be that that won't work because they're using a label, and I have type, email, and autocomplete name, password. But what I don't have yeah, you know what? This is not going to work. Yeah, because this is not a valid thing either. Not for this function or for this page. I mean, I have the type, I have the username, but ultimately I might just do it the way they say. Because theirs is using the input already, and it's already got the label. I don't know if I feel like I could probably just use the input, but name is password. I don't have an input on my thing. So let's go. Let's do this. Name equals, just so that we have this on there, password. And then we're going to do the same thing up here. Name equals email. So we have the name to match. They have ID also. And type. They're all the same. So I don't know. And then it's required. So that's really the same. The only difference is they also have an ID that uses the exact same value again. Seems redundant to me. Email. Hold on here. All right, let's see how that goes. I think I put in the email. I'm going to use the same values. I don't even know. Maybe that's why they all put this. This is all underneath that. So I don't know. Just so that everything, whatever it's referencing, can work. I don't know if it's referencing the name, the ID in the code, because it just says, you know, you go here to the actions, all it does is say form data get email. Well, is that looking at the name or is that looking at the ID? I don't know. But either way, we're going to get the data because I have them both. So we should be fine. Hey, look. It worked. Hey, look, my page loaded. Like, woo, I'm so excited. All that to get 2 forms to pop up. Auth forms are authorization data. Authorization coding is a pain in the backside of. Tell you what, man. All right, so we're gonna try this. This is the new version using the email callback. We're gonna see how this works. We're gonna try it one more time. Let's see. Let's see. First of all, do I have anything already pending? I do not. Nothing pending, so we're good. I don't like this. This looks ugly. I'd rather just be like hyperlinks, login / sign up or something. Something clean, something minimal. Maybe if they were side by side, or do like a lot of them, they'll have like the login be the big button, and then underneath in hyperlinks, it'll be sign up. Sign up if you don't have an account or something. You can click underneath the login. Something cleaner. The double button bit, not great, but I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I'll do sign up. What did it do? Well, I'll tell you what it didn't do. It didn't redirect me to whatever it was supposed to. If that was supposed to have a redirect step, it didn't do it. Did it at least trigger anything here? I'm not seeing anything triggered here either. I'm pretty sure I've taken a couple steps back in order to redirect in the direction that they're trying to lead me. Because see, they have this create client. I did not insert this. I'm guessing that's part of the problem. It didn't actually call this because I don't have this going. I believe they actually had me go as far as to create an object. See, this is env local. As you can see, that didn't work. If I go to page, I don't have anything. Yeah, I don't know what it's. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Actions would have said do something here, but I would imagine I needed to pass values into here somehow. I don't think I can use env. I don't think this works, to be honest. I'm telling you, whatever that is, it's not doing what you think it is. It's not great. But did I? All right, so I have a server.ts, supabase. All right, so I have supabase. I have client, which is that item, which is probably supposed to be calling that, and server, which has also got those items. So both of them are supposed to call this, but that m.local is not calling, not functioning at all. Create server client, create browser client. And I don't think I can do a console.log on a server part, can I? Can I do console.log on the server piece? Don't know if it's going to let me do that. But I am curious. Create client. Oh, yeah, that's the problem. I'm not using that. It's not under utils. Let's put that there. Let's see, did I use utils somewhere else? Because if I did, that's not going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work. Super base. And then we'll try this one. Same thing. Hopefully. Can't resolve super base server. What? Super base server. Import trace. Module can't resolve super base server. Import redirect from next navigation. I'm curious. I wonder if I have to use utils. I wonder if that's like it's a built-in part of the. Module not found on both of those guys. I wonder if that's the problem. So if I have to go import redirect from next navigation, import create client from Superbase server, it doesn't like my Superbase server. So I wonder if I have to change this then. Where'd it go? I changed it to utils, but then it vanished. Where'd it go? Where's it at? What am I looking at here? Is it not? Is it under here? Oh, it's here. Why the heck is it under auth? Oh, all right. Create a folder with a file for each type of client. Then copy the utility function for each client type. Let's put this up here under app. I thought I moved it. That's totally weird. Why did that do that? Okay, so go up here. And then this guy is supposed to be in there. Okay, there we go. Utils, super base. Now it's under the same path. Hopefully that's going to fix things. We'll find out. And it could be that my problem wasn't that I was called super base. It was that I was called super base underneath the wrong location. In other words, it was not root like I thought it was supposed to be. But all right, where are we at? Failed to compile. Module can't resolve. Util super base server. What do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't work? That's just, it's right there. Util super base. That's right. I'm staring at it. Util super base server. What is the @ symbol? Why do some of them have @ symbols? See, this is more learning. Why do some have the @ symbol and some of them not? Oh, so many new things to learn. Okay, Superbase. Got the create client there under Superbase. Create a util Superbase folder with a file for each of the type of client, then copy utility functions for each client type. Do I need to create a new client for every route? Yes, creating a Superbase client is lightweight. On the server, it basically configures a fetch call. You need to reconfigure the fetch call anew for every request to your server because you need the cookies from the request. On the client, create browser client. Already uses a singleton pattern, so you only ever create one instance, no matter how many times you call your create client function. Okay, well, to access Superbase from NextJS, you need two types of Superbase clients, one for those. Okay, well, I have those things. Both of these exist. But what we're not doing is somehow we're not referencing these okay. Somewhere, see, I have utils Superbase. Import update session from utils Superbase middleware here. Is that this one? Update session, yeah. So we have those two guys working together. But again, utils Superbase. I have a util Superbase, but it's not functioning. It says it can't find it. Can't resolve utils Superbase server. Am I spelling it right? Utils. All right, let's try this else. I think I'm doing something weird. Oh, no, that's right, utils. And I actually dropped this in there, and that's how Superbase ended up second. So Superbase is a folder. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to type, I just want to try something here. We're going to say, create client. Nope, wrong thing. We're going to say NextJS server base server. Nope, that's not what I meant. That's not what I wanted. Never mind. we're going to say it's not going to work. Oh, all right, let's try this. Where did the middle go? Auth, confirm. Where's the middles? Here's middles. Middles go under utils. Did I not do this one? Because I don't see where I put that one. I don't think I did that one. I don't think I did either one of these. No, I have a matcher. Where did I put the matcher at? Where did I put your matcher? Hello? I know I put you in here because I remember typing that out and seeing. I'm all over the board, I know. This is me trying to iron this puppy out. Client. Okay, so this is supposed to be under a thing called middleware, which I actually call the client token handler, which is probably going to be part of my problem if I don't name things correctly or name things to match, because at some point they're going to get called. So it's one thing to name them better, but if you don't actually point everything correctly. And this should just be, it just says under, so this is middleware, client token handler, which is just at the top. I just have it at the top. And then there's this one, which is supposed to be in existence, which I didn't actually, I don't think I actually did this one. I don't think I did an update session one. If I did, oh no, I did. It's called server token handler. And I got to go back here. I got client, here's a server token handler. It's under util superbase. So anywhere that references middleware tier has to be changed to that. Middle, it's not even middleware, right? It's going to be supposed to be client token handler or server token handler. That's what that's supposed to be. I mean, it's not actually calling it, but I do need it to be. I probably shouldn't even have named it that way. Everything's lowercase. Have you noticed that? A lot of this stuff gets named in lowercase. And I don't know that there is any other reference to this one. That one references that, but this one doesn't reference anything. Next server. Still doesn't answer my problem of Superbase server is not there. Utils, Superbase server. Import, create client. Oh, let's go to server. This is create client, right? I'm going to get rid of this one. This one's not needed. I was just playing with that. I don't need it. It's just going to cause me pain. Pain. I don't like pain. Pain hurts. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right, so we have import create client from Superbase server. Create That's not even the same. What is it talking about? Oh, authorize actions. Create client from utils super base server. Okay, here it is. What if I take this out and go like this, and then go here and go create client, and they want it from, oh, it's app utils. So when they say root, they mean root, like outside of the app. Ah, interesting. I was thinking it just meant like within the app folder, but okay. So when they say put this outside, man, they weren't kidding. They mean like don't even put it in your app code. Why does it do that? Okay, haha, look, it loaded back up. There's the problem. It was that I had it at the app level instead of the utils level. Now, of course, this doesn't mean squat for functionality. It just means it can now reference stuff it's supposed to reference. So that's something, right? Let's try this again. It did stuff, but it also got an error. But hey, at least it did stuff, right? It's like we're slowly getting somewhere. It did stuff. It got me sorry something went wrong, but that's also not the pretty sorry something went wrong that I had earlier. But we'll worry about that in a minute. But we do have something. It did go to the air. I don't think that it actually, it doesn't look like it even got here. So whatever we did, we didn't quite get things to process. Holy moly, I'm way over. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. I'm going to do a quick switch over, do a little bit of Marvel Snap for a bit, take a lunch break kind of thing, and give myself 40 minutes of brain recuperation, maybe an hour, and then I'll get on to the next thing. I'm going to get this working today. This will work today, but I need a break. So I'm going to stop for a bit, and we will call it the morning session done, and we'll get back to it later.